Welcome, everybody, back to the Buds Podcast, episode 21. And this past week, we've had a lot of big dates coming out for sports. Basically, July is going to be the epicenter for all sports starting, training camp. A lot of tournaments are going to be happening. Now, I think the first news that we have to talk about, just to start this episode off good, the NFL, about Wednesday, I want to say, it came out that a certain quarterback in the AFC North that he's had some struggles over the past, I want to say 2 years with injury
Yeah,
problem. He's been
and
on
some
kind
other
of the
things.
he's been on kind of the decline. I think he had Tommy John surgery this past year. Ben Roethlisberger. A thing came out in the news that he was basically at a church Zoom retreat type of thing, and he was doing like a testimonial, like where you say like everything that you've done wrong, and you're basically giving
My
yourself
God.
up and then trying to make yourself better as a person.
You're forgiving your sins.
Yeah, forgiving your sins.
Yeah,
Thank you.
forgiving your
I
sins.
couldn't think of it. But
Uh,
he talked about his drinking problem, his instance that he's had in the past with in my when he was in college and everything like that. And then he talked about his problem with watching porn and
mean,
Why'd you say it like that?
everyone does it.
and and touching his baloney. And and see, this was a thing. This was a thing that wasn't supposed to be put out into the public, and somehow it got. Well, I mean,
Oh, 100%.
not somehow.
Yeah.
If an
When you
NFL
talking to-
quarterback says
yeah,
that, it's
talking to
definitely getting
kids.
released.
Talking to kids.
Yeah, if an NFL quarterback, especially Big Ben, says that, that's definitely getting
the,
out.
the guy that's behind me, I just picture him doing that.
That was just because I listened to it on I first watched or heard about it on the Pat McAfee show, and they were just tearing into him. They could not handle themselves. They put it they have these slide cards at the end of, or at the bottom of the screen, and they said we need to talk about Big Ben's baloney problem.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It was
it happens.
Wasn't that the cause of his elbow injury?
No,
Like
that
people
was
were saying.
that
No,
was
that's what
that
they're
was a
saying, is
joke.
that
That was
he
a
had to
joke.
get the Tommy John surgery because of that.
I mean, you never know.
Joke, man.
I mean, you going ham on yourself.
I mean, he was just rubbing one out.
That is
You know
more
what?
than rubbing one out. That's like
I mean, he was just rubbing one out. Everyone does it.
Oh,
Ash.
jeepers, Christmas.
Okay, well,
He's
we'll
not
move,
wrong.
we'll move on from that. We just wanted to, that was one of the funniest.
Had to get that off.
That was one of the
chest.
funniest things I had.
I mean, on the serious note with Big Ben, I hope you get better with your. I mean,
Yeah, I
some
mean, I
people want to
think-
stop doing it, and that's good.
I
for
mean,
him.
doesn't he have a wife?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
and he said that made him a bad husband.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
why-
was
I mean,
saying how
it
made
is
him-
kind of low key cheating.
I mean, Big Ben, is your
People
wife
say.
not giving you any action?
I mean,
No.
but props to
mean-
Big Ben for coming out with it though. Honestly, if I was in front of 200 kids, I don't think I'd be able to say something like that.
Yeah, it's something that definitely took a lot, especially talking about his alcoholism and how over the past couple of years he hasn't been a good person to himself. So I mean, good for Big Ben, and hopefully this season they come back and he comes back and does good. I mean, they have a good team built around him now in Pittsburgh, so hopefully we can see something from him. Now moving on to the NFC East. Some news came out about the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're the only team that has really been
Didn't the
centralized.
Texans get some?
I think so.
too?
So I think it's down in the Texas area. But biggest name we've seen so far, Ezekiel Elliott tested positive for coronavirus. Now, obviously,
Can't use that word.
still has the. We can use whatever word we want to use.
I think
Say
players
whatever
from
the
the
hell I want
I think
to.
players from the Buccaneers tested positive too,
Yeah,
but they didn't
Buccaneers.
Oh
say.
yeah, I think they did because people started worrying about Tom Brady and stuff.
But they said they weren't going to release the information or something like that.
But they still have a month until everything starts. Obviously. So I don't think there's much to worry about there. And I don't think any of the guys that got it were showing symptoms. So that's good.
Yeah.
I know Zeke did, right?
I don't think Zeke did.
I think
No,
he's
no,
better now.
no, because I was watching the video that Zeke said, see, he had like a cough and stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
but nothing bad.
Yeah, nothing horrible.
Um, Now talking about almost being a month away here, the NFL training camps are going to start late July. I think they're shooting for the 28th, around there, and rookies will report a week earlier, so about the 18th. So we're going to be not seeing, but we're going to be getting more football news mid-July, which, like I said, July is going to be the epicenter for sports starting again. Like,
I mean,
July might be fire.
I personally just don't know how it's gonna work, especially with like the NFL training camps. Like you see all these colleges going back to, like I'm pretty sure all of them are doing like 5 groups of 10 or like 6 groups of 10 because they have like 60 players in the team, and like in so many like smaller schools, like they're getting the coronavirus and stuff. I just don't know how it's gonna work, and especially say like in the NBA, say if like LeBron or like one of those big players like Giannis, like they get the coronavirus and they can't play, like that's not how would that work?
I mean,
I mean,
everything just it has to go on. Like,
I think I said a couple, like, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago. I said how, like, the high school level here is trying to, like, take it down and, like, you really got to be. I mean, it's weird how we practice nowadays, but, like, 6 feet distance has to be a thing, or else, like, there's by law, like, we could get in trouble.
yeah, you did mention how, like, so if
we didn't
say
even come back to practice.
if your team tests positive for it,
Yeah, a player.
then the team you played has to go into
They have to
quarantine.
sit out.
They
Yep, and then
can't play for the next 2 weeks. You can't play for the next 2 weeks. Then that takes out like 4 other teams for the next 2
I
weeks.
think in general it took out like 16. But like here's my thing, right? If they're not like I'm pretty sure it's the NFL, so they're gonna do regular testing. But if they're not doing regular testing, do you think a player is really gonna, go up and say something, or do you really think that, they'll just not really
I
say anything?
think I think
I think some will.
I think in the environment we live in now, with everything that's going on, if a player feels as though he should go and say, "Hey, I'm feeling a little under the weather. Can you do a test on me?" He will. But like, if it's like mild symptoms, then no. But if it's like, hey, okay, under the weather, feeling kind of fluish, then he might go. But if it's just like coughing and stuff like that, then I think that's where you'll see the players shy away from even saying something.
I mean, yeah, but like the scary part about it is that like some of them have no like symptoms
Yeah,
to
the
the point where
non-symptomatic people.
And you'll
like
never know.
like yo like actually that was me. Like I thought I was fine. I wasn't. I mean, I was fine now, but it's just weird.
I mean,
No, but like no, because
it's definitely gonna be different.
I was like telling my dad, I was like, what if like Harden, Giannis, and LeBron like all get it at the same time? Like, how is that gonna work? Like, you tell your wife. I mean, obviously, like more people will get the virus if those three, have it. But just imagine that.
I think that at that point they might assess where the league is at and go from
mean-
there. But I do wanna wait and talk about that because there's some more that I've heard about the NBA. But just finishing off on the NFL and then we move right on to that. They're shortening the preseason, I think, by a couple games. They've already canceled the Hall of Fame game, which from what I've heard is a useless game anyways.
Yeah, it's the third
Yeah.
stringers.
Yeah, it's literally just third stringers playing against each other just to have a game for the Hall of Fame and induction ceremony. Like it's
so stupid.
it's a pointless game.
Well, I mean, it's cool for the people who are getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, obviously, but it's not even on the
I
induction
mean-
isn't even on the same day as the game. So
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, the football game is definitely like the
I
stupid part.
think if you wanted to be like ceremonious to your legends that are going to the Hall of Fame, you'd probably play a little bit more of a meaningful game or meaningful players.
I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, it should low-key be halftime. I mean, like after like the at the Super Bowl after the halftime show, just do it then. It's more of a meaningful game. I feel like everyone's watching.
or honestly, you move the Hall of Fame game to a regular season game to like a prime time game.
No, or
Right.
or like the first game of the season, which mostly everyone's watching.
Yeah, no, everyone's watching the first game of the
I mean,
season
yeah,
because
mostly
usually
everyone-
it's the Super Bowl champions that play in that first game of the season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a pointless game being the first game of the preseason because you have two bad teams playing their third stringers, basically. I think this year is like the Steelers and I don't even know.
Cowboys.
Yeah, Steelers, like, come on.
You could have
That
saw Duck Hodges
I mean that'll be a cool game. Wait,
versus
wait.
like Cooper Rush or whatever that guy is.
What's
No,
the
he's the
first game of the
offensive coordinator
season
now.
this year?
Or no, that's Kellen Moore. What were you saying?
What's the first game of the season this year?
It's Chiefs versus
The Texans, I think.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like that'd be so much like I mean way more cool to like do it then.
First game of the season is hold on. It pulled up the
Wait, so
preseason.
isn't it MLB opening day July 23rd? Just to make sure.
No, MLB opening day is July.
I saw 23rd.
No, it's hold on.
No,
It's
I saw Adam Schefter say 23rd, 24th.
And what
You're
sport
really
does
believing
Adam
it?
Schefter tweet at?
Yeah,
Well,
you're
no,
really
well, no, well, no. I was just saying.
no,
That's
it's,
what he
it's
said.
July 31st. It's a Friday.
Oh,
That's why you don't listen to Adam Schefter. Nick
Okay,
knows about that.
Yeah, you were right,
That's
Nick.
Ian
First game,
Rappaport.
Or Rappaport, correct.
first game of the season is Texans
or
at
or
KC.
Andrew Siciliano, the guy with the ears. I love that guy.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
the
think
first game of the season is Texans at KC. So that would be somewhat of an interesting game to be like a Hall of Fame game if they were to do something like that.
Yeah, but no one would care about the Hall of Fame for that game. That's the thing.
Yeah. Okay, but I think we can move on to what we were talking about a second ago with the NBA. Now, from what I've heard is that the NBA season could be a question mark now with all these teams having players popping up and getting coronavirus now because like I think we addressed on Wednesday's A&M, Nikola Jokic has it. Basically half the Sacramento Kings have it. Like they're not going to have a team by the start of the bubble. Just a lot of these players are starting to get it, and then you have a lot of players that are not wanting to go to Orlando because they want to stay with their families and they just don't want to do it because of the climate of the world right now. So it's a question: is the season gonna happen now?
I don't think it should.
Here's my proposition on this whole meaningful tobacco NBA. The NBA did a great job getting a season to go, 1,000%. I think they were one of the better ones, especially MLB in dead last. You know, the NFL doesn't matter. NHL is probably in second. But the way that I'd put the NBA right now is you got so many players calling for a social justice reform and people not being safe. As you can see, all these NBA players getting, tested and becoming positive. I think the NBA should just go to complete off season, cancel. Well, I mean, it's hard to say wipe a season, but completely just go in the off season, make the NBA draft virtual. You can see how the NFL did that and how their numbers were.
And the MLB.
And the MLB and their numbers, their TV numbers were way up than previous years. I mean, I don't even watch the MLB draft, and I watched the MLB draft this year because I miss sports.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I've never watched the MLB draft, and I was actually invested in it. One, because of our podcast, and two, because it was something fun to watch. Like we haven't had anything to watch, and it gave us something to watch.
And being a fan of like a team that's, I mean, it might be different for like a Lakers fan or something like that. They'd be a little bit more pissed off because their team was going to win a championship or, as a Timberwolves fan, I'd 1,000% rather watch the offseason unfold with the NBA lottery and then the draft within like a week or two of the same thing and then the free agency. I think a lot of people would rather see that right now than a season being played. And that's not just coming from a fan, that's coming from like, I think a player's perspective too. I think a lot of players are calling for a social justice reform, so they're not going to play.
Okay. Yes, a lot of players are coming for that social justice reform, but at the same time, I feel like them playing and having a platform to kind of support the movement. Because when you look at it, the NBA, the finals would have been happening right when the protests started in Minneapolis. So giving them Orlando, giving them TV time, they can do something to kind of show in support of the Black Lives Matter movement and all the social justice reforms that a lot of the players are going for and the coaches now. So I feel like having the season in Orlando is a good idea. I am a Pistons fan. It sucks. We suck. It's going to suck not being able to see us. But as a basketball fan, I want to see it. Is it going to happen? Probably. If it doesn't, wouldn't be too mad about it. Just move on to the NBA offseason. Pistons get LaMelo Ball. Wouldn't be upset.
Okay.
Wait. Let me get this straight. So it's happening in Florida, correct?
Yeah,
Right.
Orlando.
Florida is
Spike-
currently emerging as one of the worst.
Yeah, it's
Hot
getting
zone.
bad there.
They had 5,000 cases yesterday, 7,000 on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh no, on Tuesday. I mean, or actually on Wednesday. I'm fucking.
It's becoming
But-
a hot zone, correct?
I mean,
They're a
yeah,
big hot zone.
that's not really good. I mean, you'd have a better bet at playing at New York right now. That's how bad it's getting in
Ju-
Florida.
Joe, I was just informed today that New York is considering going back into lockdown.
What do you mean? We're actually still in lockdown?
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, only 27 people died today, which is like an all-time like low.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, that's.
I mean, that's not bad. 27 in a place with 27 million people.
No,
That's
you're
not
right.
bad.
No, but it's just the fact of never thought we would be able to say.
No, but I consider Long Island its own state. Only 4 people died here today. Good enough.
That's good. That's good.
And I think the Raptors are already in Florida. So
They are.
That's a GG.
So
No, but I'm
no,
telling
that
you
but
could
at the same time,
you
that's
cannot
good.
contain this virus.
No,
it's
that's
can't.
Nick. That's good because if they're in Florida already, that means they're already in that bubble. Because the thing about that bubble, once you go in, you're not getting out, and the people they're letting in are very, very, very exclusive. So like that in a good way, that's good for the Raptors because that means their players aren't in Toronto walking around like having the chance of getting it. They're in quarantine basically right now. Like they're not getting out of where they are.
Even if the season got canceled, I mean, at least the Raptors are still defending champs.
Oh my.
So it's a win-win.
How great, right?
It's a win-win.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Another sad thing that happened in the NBA is that now Vince Carter is officially retired, and there's now no NBA player that was drafted in the 90s currently playing anymore. So kind of
you want to
him
hear something
retired-
even more depressing? J.R. Smith might actually be on the Lakers. I don't know if I could watch it. I don't know. That's depressing.
Something I saw, it was a picture of LeBron and JR when he wasn't passing the ball, and it said that's the wrong Antetokounmpo.
Wait, yeah, because isn't
Alex
what's
is on
his
there,
name?
or-
Yeah, I was gonna say Alex. No,
is it
it's-
Alex?
Yeah, it's Alex.
No, I think
He's
Alex
on
is
the
the
team.
youngest.
Alex is not. No, because Alex
Definitely
is on
not
the G League
Alex.
squad.
No, Alex is still in college.
Yeah. It's
There's-
definitely not Alex.
Because when they're
It's definitely Kostas.
Oh yeah, no.
It's Kostas, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
it
it's
is, I
Dennis.
think.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
Kostas.
fucking know.
yeah, Alex is the one.
The
still in-
85 brothers.
Alex is
Yeah, it's cool.
they're about to have 4 brothers in the NBA when Alex comes up.
That is one goated.
I mean, are the other ones even good though?
I mean,
Other than
So
Giannis?
you have Kostas. He's the
Kostas was
no, you
the last pick in the 2018.
you have
draft.
Giannis, you have Giannis, you have Kostas, you have Alex, and then their oldest brother is actually was really good at basketball, but he had to stop playing to like help support their family by getting like a job like where he wasn't playing basketball.
What a great.
So
man.
they could have had possibly 5 brothers in the NBA.
That's crazy.
Man, they could have been racking up those checks.
Oh, without a doubt.
Wait a minute. Apparently, Udonis Haslem's now the oldest player. I didn't even think he was still in the league.
Wait,
No, the thing is he stays on Miami. He always signs 1-year deal for like $1 million, I think. And he
I
just
mean,
sits on the
easy
end of the
money.
bench.
yeah,
I'll take
yeah.
it.
He got a 2.5 mil, which is the veteran minimum, or 2.4, whatever it is.
I mean, I'm not even gonna count. I'm gonna say the oldest player now is Kyle Korver.
Yeah, it's true.
He still plays. No, the oldest. Wait, when was Kyle drafted? 2002.
Because I'm looking at the top 10 oldest players. It says Korver would be third behind Carter and Haslam.
So yeah,
Who's
I mean,
fourth?
Tyson Chandler.
was he drafted in
Can we,
02?
can we even count Tyson?
No, Chandler
Does he
drafted
even play?
01.
Thinking about it, I know me and Mort talked about this in the A&M.
Not
We were
more.
talking about possible players that could come back and play in the bubble. Could Tyson Chandler?
No.
No.
Is
You
he
don't
not? Is he on the Rockets?
No,
I
he's
thought
not
that's
on
where
a
I
team.
last saw him, but
They released him.
I think so.
Yeah, and then
I didn't.
wait.
I thought he
and,
was just like roaming in free agency.
I don't know.
it'd be cool if there was like a buyout. If you have an expiring contract, like I know the Timberwolves, I think they have like Evan Turner or something like that. If they could
Oh,
just buy him out, he would
He would be
definitely get
like a
signed.
perfect player for the bubble, like because
Yeah.
a team could easily use him for like because he's a point forward, so like he would work perfectly for like
He
Right.
can go back to Portland.
yeah. Portland needs him now with Trevor Ariza having to sit out, and so I feel in the end of everything that the NBA season more than likely gonna happen. There's still the spread of doubt that it might not. The season. When was the season supposed to start? I forgot that official start
I
date.
thought it was the 31st.
31st, 30th, 31st, sometime like that.
I mean,
I know like some teams are traveling like in a week or two actually though.
Well, I mean, they want to get them all like, because they're probably getting their tests back soon. They want to all just get them down there as soon as possible.
yeah, okay. It was the 31st, but then I remember that Woj tweeted out it was getting moved to the 30th. So the season's gonna start on the 30th.
24 hours.
So that's kind of crazy that they're gonna start on the 30th, and then who do we say was starting on the 31st?
I mean, MLB apparently, but I don't know. I saw 23rd from a couple people saying it, so I don't know.
No, the MLB is starting the 31st. Yeah. So that's.
I mean, I personally think that.
No, MLB is July 23rd or
Yeah,
24th.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah, because I saw it was coming out the 23rd.
The NBA's the 31st, I think.
Yeah, so how are you like? You took the longest, but you're coming back the quickest. I mean, that maybe that's the.
Yeah, no, I
way
saw
to
that.
do it.
Apparently, like the MLB somehow is starting before like the NBA and NHL now.
That's crazy.
Wait, I thought the NHL was starting soon, and
No,
they didn't, there's not really an NHL starting date
no,
yet.
NHL is just late July.
No, because I saw like NHL training camp opens July 10th. They didn't. I
I
don't
mean,
think they even
yeah,
had an opening.
Personally,
date
I mean,
yet.
I think everything should be died down a little by July.
well, I know
mean-
that I know I'm hyping this up, but Wednesday for A&M, that's gonna be a poppin' episode because that's July 1st, and that's the first sport, like the first sport of the four major sports is the MLB, and that's crazy how they're gonna be the first sport to report back to training camp.
Yeah, that's what they finessed.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
finesse.
Everyone
see-
complained about them. Now they're starting before everyone.
I guess we can just move right on to the MLB here now that we're
Yeah.
talking about. But
Might
did
as
you
well.
see that Rob Manfred apologized to the fans saying that he was like he's sorry for the financial like trouble with the players and everything, and I mean still one of the worst commissioners.
He can
in my
say
eyes.
whatever he wants.
Yeah, he can say whatever he wants, but
It took way too long to make a deal.
Oh, without a doubt. And another thing about this, I know Toronto is in kind of a weird position for their playing.
Yeah.
What's that all about? Like,
Because
I
like
seen
a bunch
a
of
little.
players tested positive and they were like staying in Florida, so now like they don't even know where to training camp now, so they're trying to go to Toronto now. But I don't know. They're saying like the
Wait.
border could be an issue for that though.
Is that it's happening in home stadiums, right?
Well, not the training camps.
No, but it's like the season happening in home stadiums.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Interesting.
like they're trying to do training camp in Toronto.
I mean,
too.
yeah, I guess they hope New York should be pretty much done by everything should be
But
open.
they said
by
if
then,
they
I
can't
hope.
go to Toronto, then like the second option would be Buffalo,
Yes,
or
sir.
their AAA team.
Something that
Yes,
is coming out for a lot of
The
baseball
goats,
teams is that they're having their home stadium like as where they're gonna like do like all their practicing and their training camp at, and then a lot of them I know like the Tigers, they're having Toledo, which is probably like about an hour and a half away. That's gonna be their alternate area where if they can't do in Detroit, or they might even split up two teams. And I know like Bradley, you said Minnesota or the
Yeah.
Twins are doing the same thing like with the University of Minnesota.
They have a couple fields, yes. So they have like I don't know the St. Paul Saints. They have their stadium, And then the University of Minnesota and then Target Field, would be their number one option.
So yeah, a lot of teams they're trying to get 2 fields so they can, I think, almost split up the teams or have 2 possible options that they can go to if one field doesn't work out. Which I like that possibility because I know like for the Detroit, the Mud Hens, their AAA team, and they have a hotel right next to it, and their hotel connects to the stadium. So I mean, you're basically putting them in quarantine right there. They can walk from the stadium to the hotel and just stay there.
I mean, the Blue Jays have a hotel in their stadium too, so they should just stay there.
I'm surprised they didn't. They probably will do something like that because that, like, if you have the ability to do that, I think you should just quarantine your team as close as you can to the stadium.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to still see how the travel is going to work for the MLB because the travel is going to be kind of insane. And I'm interested to see how many games they're going to – because it's 60 games in 66 days, correct?
Really?
Like that.
I believe that's – I believe – you can fact check me there, but
I didn't know it was that
So,
many.
like, how many games in a row are they play one team? Is it like 3 games?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Are you going to play a full series when you go to that town, or
Probably.
There's no way they play them like 10 times in a row. I mean,
yeah?
that'd be kind of crazy.
Did you know I saw the New York Yankees play 33% of their games versus the Marlins and Orioles?
So 1/3 of their schedules against 2 of
Yep.
the easiest teams in
Yep.
the league.
It's crazy.
I mean, the Jays have to play them too, but yeah, but they're all like
That's like mind blowing. Yeah, but like no offense to the Jays, but they might not win every single game. The Yankees are winning every single game of those 2 series, most likely.
Nah, the Marlins will steal a game.
I think the Yankees will eventually just start sitting players.
I mean, yeah, they'll lose 1 or 2, but that's just crazy to me how they have pretty much no competition for a third of the season.
Yeah, but they gotta play the other East teams in the NL.
Yeah, but
They're not-
still,
they
that's
won't be
like,
easy.
I mean, wait.
But yeah, they gotta play the
who else
Orioles
do
10
it- do it-
times.
They have to play.
I have a
Everyone in the NL
question.
East.
Oh, wait, you just play
Yeah, each East Conference.
Yeah.
each East Conference 10 times? Or no, not 10
I have
times.
a
Well, no, the
question.
NL ones would be 4, I think.
So if each team plays 60 games, and there's 30 teams in the MLB, correct?
Yeah.
Do you realize how many games a day we're gonna get? Like that's gonna be an insane amount of games. We're gonna be at least getting
Probably 4
Almost.
games, like 15 or whatever.
we're gonna be getting 15 plus games a day, probably 20 plus games a day.
Is that possible, Chief?
I don't know.
I mean, that'd be every team playing.
No, but wouldn't every
Basically-
team be playing 15?
I mean,
Because it's
you're,
15
okay,
games. I mean,
you're probably at least gonna be getting because I feel like teams are gonna be playing double headers in days.
That'd be AIDS.
No, 'cause what I feel like is
that's just AIDS for the team.
No, what I feel like they're gonna do is they're gonna be like playing double headers, and then they'll have like a couple days off, and then they'll play like 2 more double headers, couple like a
Yeah,
day.
but-
There's not that many days off though.
Yeah, they're gonna have like, if anything, they're gonna have maybe 5 days off during this whole thing, maybe 6 days. That's why they're gonna do 66 days.
Well, okay. I mean, I understand that because you've pretty much had a short off season these like
Yeah.
3 months.
it's gonna be insane though how many games we're gonna get in a day.
So like, they're probably gonna play like 12 games straight for each break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's like 5 games, I don't even know if that's what it is though. But
I know. So what it's probably gonna be, they're probably gonna play 10 straight games, and then have a day off. 10 straight games, day off. 10 straight games, and they're gonna have 6 days off.
yeah,
That's gonna be insane.
I mean, how many games do they usually play like in a row? A team?
Usually
Like in a
not.
regular
They usually
season.
play
Like 3 or 4.
like usually it's like
Not
usually
Not
it's
how
like
many games until you get like a day off.
I feel like it's like about 5 or 6, and then you get a day off.
Yeah, I get.
I mean, it just kind of depends your stands. Like, what's your home stand and away stand, really?
Yeah.
is.
That shit
Yeah, but
sounds tiring.
I mean, usually you get one. I mean,
Well-
every other week you get like one.
I don't
complete
understand how the hell they're
every
gonna do travel though.
Yeah, that's what I was addressing like at the beginning there. Like the travel's gonna be insane because how
Like,
are
you're
you gonna-
literally gonna finish a game and then literally have to hop on the plane to the next city.
that's,
Wait,
but
Are they
that's what
doing
the
it that way or
taxi
doing
squad
like
is for,
series?
Brad. That's
I'm
why they're
not
going to
sure.
20 extra players.
I mean, yeah, I get the extra players thing, but
And
this
that's
is
when
really
it
insane.
seems like the Tigers and stuff have their prospects come up very early now.
I'm
Well,
gonna
they
be
might make it like
honest.
travel friendly, the schedule. Like for the Jays, they might play like both New York teams back to back or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
yeah, they'll
see,
probably do that.
Brad, the other thing that's going to be really simple about it is that I believe they're splitting into the 3 divisions, correct?
Right, they are.
Okay. So yeah, that's going to be really easy because then you'll have basically all the AL and NL Central, like they're all within a good like vicinity of each other. So it's not going to be that bad for traveling.
Yeah, but you think about it, like the Atlanta Braves are somehow in our Central Division.
Yeah, I
I
don't get
mean,
that.
I don't understand how they're in our division when aren't they in the NL East?
No,
They're not in the NL East.
they're in
Yeah,
the
they're in
NL
the NL
Central.
East.
Wait, they
I'm
are
in
in
the
the
NL East, yeah.
Ho.
The Atlanta Braves. So why
Yeah,
they are
are
in the
they in
East.
the
Yeah, they're in the East.
Well, I mean, Atlanta could. I mean,
Atlanta, Georgia's really, really, really on the East Coast, man.
wait, Atlanta's. Not,
Atlanta is really it's almost on the coast.
I mean,
well, I
like,
mean,
they don't really.
I
They
mean,
have to change up the divisions to have even divisions. Like the
No.
Predators in hockey, they're in the Western Conference, even though they're in the Eastern United States.
Yeah.
So they pick and choose.
See, the thing that I know it's going to be difficult, like so the East and Central, they're obviously in like a pretty compact area. But then you have the West. The West spans from like Texas to California. That's a big that's a
Right.
big path right there. That there is going to be hard to
could be-
tackle with
Yeah.
time change and stuff.
I mean, hopefully, like someone said, they're travel friendly because imagine one day you're playing Texas and then you get done with a 9 inning game, you're straight on the airplane to Oakland. Like that would suck.
Yeah, like I'm sure they'll make it like you play like Houston, then Texas, and then
No, or it would suck. It would be like so you're the Angels. You play you play a nine inning game against
home.
uh,
You play 9 game home, and then you have to go straight to like New York.
I was saying then you go to like Seattle because let's just say they're playing in their division. Like
Oh, yeah.
you go from LA, Texas, Seattle. Like that would be insane. So they're gonna have to be like friendly with the scheduling there. I would imagine.
Hopefully, yeah.
Now the other thing I know we wanted to talk about was like the stats. How is obviously we've talked about this for a while since all this has been going on. We've been anticipating the sports coming back. Is there going to be an asterisk by this? Like, is this going to be counted as like the Corona season?
And I mean, yeah, they're gonna call it the Corona season or something. And obviously, they're gonna. But I mean, yeah, because I feel like whoever wins MVP is gonna steal it.
I think I don't know if Mort mentioned this on Wednesday or we mentioned this somewhere else or just to ourselves, but whoever gets MVP is going to be the person that has the hottest hand at the beginning of the season.
Well, yeah, I mean, because it's a 60-game season, right?
Yeah, 60.
I feel like
this
there's
is-
so many players who go in a slump and then like do really good at the end of the season, but I feel like this is just whoever can start out the
I
best.
feel like the MVP is gonna be someone in the Central because I feel like the Central is like the least calm.
I saw so
Out of the
many
other-
people saying Eugenio Suarez is gonna steal it.
low key.
I don't know why. I saw that everywhere because apparently he starts like really hot every season. I don't know, but I see so many people saying that.
I could see like
Yeah.
it's
Well, no, I mean, I think the reason because they're saying like a person like him could do it, like a person who's not MVP caliber but can just go do good for 60 games.
Low key, Josh Donaldson.
Yes, sir. You know, I just want to point out something
Oh,
earlier.
no,
I didn't
no.
know if I get to this.
Jesus. You
Ben
got him on a
said
rant,
something.
Nick.
No. This has nothing to do with Twins. Ben said something about the fairness of like play and division. I definitely agree that there should be fairness, but the Central is completely stacked over the East, and the West is even more stacked.
Oh yeah. The
I mean,
East is
It's
Over the East?
probably
so
like the weakest
bad.
division.
What do
I
you
It
would
is
say.
so
Uh,
bad. You have
The East not that bad.
I
mean,
mean,
you got
come
the
on.
Yankees. I mean, the
No, you
NL.
only have
yeah,
two teams that are like horrible.
I mean, the NL East is probably the second or third best division in baseball, or most competitive.
I want to
Because
see
in my
this.
opinion, you have 4 teams who
Because-
can make the playoffs.
Something I do
Yeah,
want to
they
bring up
go.
about the stats though is that starting pitchers. The Yankees, they just got Garrett Cole, sign him to a monster deal. If he does all possible 5 starts that or all possible starts that he can, so 5 days in between everything, which we don't know how that's going to work and everything. So if he waits the 5 days or whatever, but it's spaced out there, he could play a possible of 12 games this season. Don't know if that's going to be possible.
They might try to extend it if they have to.
See, that's why, like, a player like Jacob DeGrom, where he's, like, I mean, last season he didn't start out too well, but, like, the season before that, he had, like, a 0 ERA for, like, his four, I guess, for his 4 or 5 starts. I feel like he's just going to have, like, a monster season in the short season. Because,
I think that's where, exactly. Jacob DeGrom, he's not, like,
Hyun-Jin
that
Ryu,
flashy in the
steal it.
wins department,
yeah.
but when he comes in, he's a good pitcher. So he could run away with the Cy Young crazy
Back to
enough,
back
we
to
could
back.
see a pitcher maybe win MVP this season.
Yeah, I feel like pitching's gonna be so big in this short season.
Oh, without a doubt. And that's why, bias
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
But that's
because-
why I feel like the Tigers,
Huh?
with their pitching prospects,
Huh?
like they could
Whoa,
actually do
whoa.
something.
Whoa,
Oh, your
wait.
damn roll.
I have a question. How do the how are the playoffs working?
It's
I
gonna
don't
be
think they set a format yet.
they haven't set a format, but it's definitely going to be expanded. They've made that clear.
They
But-
should do top 5.
I want to say
Top 4,
this.
top 4, top
Back to this division thing. In
Okay.
the East, it is weak. You
Yeah.
have the Orioles, Pirates, Marlins. I mean, I'm sorry, the Blue Jays aren't the best of teams, but I
Aren't
mean,
the Pirates in the Central?
no, Pirates are in the East. The Central's the
They
Cubs.
switched.
Yeah, they
the
switched it up. They're
Pirates and the
making it
Braves.
more geographical.
Yeah. So literally, I think there's only or 2 non-contending teams in the Central, and it's from the AL Central. So it would be the Tigers and the Royals.
Yeah.
Other than that, you got Cubs, White Sox, Brewers, Cardinals, Reds, Indians, Twins, Braves, Tigers, and then the West. It's basically
They're not doing that schedule anymore. I'm looking at this. It's like the both East divisions are playing each other, and both Central.
what I mean for what I
Because-
see from USA Today Sports. It
Because
says-
MLB on Fox tweeted like yesterday about like what the schedules would
I
be.
mean, yeah, because if they're doing that, I mean, yeah, you could say the only bad teams who have like no chance are the Marlins and the Orioles. I mean, I could see the Blue Jays with if they with their
Maybe with their
with-
young lineup.
with all their young lineup, I could see
honestly, I feel like
and
the
their new
Jays could
ace.
like steal a spot
Yeah,
low key.
and their new ace, but like the NL East is like I said, the top 3 division in baseball. They have 4 contenders who can make the playoffs and somehow go far.
And the
Okay, hang
Rays,
on,
the
hang on,
Rays
hang
are
on.
so underrated.
You just said 4 contenders.
Yeah,
By
the-
contenders, you don't mean World Series.
No,
correct? Okay.
No, I'm saying 4 playoff contenders, and they could like make it somewhat.
Yeah, and see, it's a lot different now. You can say contenders because when you look at it, a lot of teams have good enough records, but the playoffs are so small that they're not going to be able to make it. But now with you take a team that has 82 games won last year, if they win a fraction of that this year, and they could possibly sneak in with an expanded playoff.
I mean, what's gonna make the playoffs? Probably like 30. I mean, usually in the AL, it's like it's
they're saying the expanded playoffs could be 14 or 16 teams.
So
I mean-
half of the league.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
could
they
see
said.
that.
Some team's gonna sneak in and like.
No, I think they're doing that, Brad, just so they can
16?
we can see more of a season since we're only seeing 60 games.
I mean,
we
if
can
it's
see
16,
more games played.
if
you
it's
have a
16,
high chance to make the playoffs.
how
Yeah.
how would that work if it's 16? I mean, I could see 15. You do 5 from each
Top
conference.
8 in each.
Wait, but
Like
Top eight in each,
top
like-
8 in like AL and NL or something.
I mean,
don't
I
know.
get it, but like
but
that's,
I don't know if that would
excessive.
work because there's so many horrible teams in like each division. There's like I said 3 to 4.
Like it'll
three to
probably
5.
like 3 in each like thing and then like 2 wild card teams. or
Yeah, they
something.
should do that. They should do 3 in each. I mean, I feel like for the NL West that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean,
like
Yeah.
that would be cool.
I just don't want to see like a seeded format because I think that just like that would just let the rich get richer, right? You
Yeah.
get like the Yankees at the number 1 seed and the Blue Jays at the 8th, and it's like, oh, thanks. I don't see you all year.
Yeah,
like,
no, I don't.
I really hope they don't make the Yankees pick the Orioles and Marlins back to back.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be like
That's gonna
I
be
mean,
like,
why?
annoying.
Why can I picture like what like the Yankees like losing like 6 out of like 10 to those teams?
Like I hope they like make them like finish it out with like versus like the top teams there.
yeah.
Oh,
I feel it's definitely going to be an interesting season to watch play out and see how they work through all these issues with the scheduling, traveling, going into the playoffs. With stats and everything. It's going to be very interesting. But going off of what Brad said and moving on to our next topic, with the number 1 seed for the KBO over the next 3 days, we have probably, we say this every time they play, probably one of the biggest series. We have the NC Dinos going up against the Doosan Bears. Doosan Bears are currently 3 games out of first place, so they have a chance to sweep the NC Dinos and claim first place.
So the Doosan Bears are now third.
No, they're second.
No, they're third.
They are second.
No, the Akiwum is now second at 28 and 17, and Doosan is 27 and 17.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's what it shows on the KBO.
Ah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Wait. No, not that. Chang Mo Koo became human low key. His ERA is over is 1.3
Oh my
now.
god.
I mean,
It's been a while since we've looked at this.
Wait,
Danny
what
Davis
happened to
was
the
there
batting
too.
leaders? Look at all their averages.
Yeah.
With that NC Dinos guy fell off. And
The-
Roberto Ramos died.
The one person I want to look at,
Jose Fernandez, low key. I mean, he's still up there in average, but
the one thing I want to look at,
Roberto
Is-
Ramos. Well, yeah.
no, I want to see how Addison Russell did. I don't know if he's played
Has
yet.
he played yet?
That's the thing. I don't know if he's
I don't
played
think
yet.
he's played.
He's on.
Yeah,
Kinwood,
LG
right?
Twins dropped to 4 now.
Yeah, that Doosan Bears swept him.
Wait, so what time is that NC Dino series like for us?
It starts at 5:30
5:30
a.m.
I mean, definitely not today, but like, I don't know. On Saturday, we might have to be waking up early, or we stay up.
So, another thing to note about the Addison Russell signing, he's going to be the only American position player on Kinwoom.
Is he really even American though?
Okay, I guess you're right. He's going to be the only foreign player not from Korea on Kinwoom, which is.
I mean, the real question is like, how is he going to communicate with his teammates? That's kind of weird, you know?
I know they have a lot of translators over there. Cause
Yeah, but it's
you
like
look at
weird,
this
yeah.
league, half of the people aren't like.
Yeah, like Preston Tucker.
Yeah.
I mean,
Christ,
maybe
that's the
Preston
most
Tucker knows some.
name ever.
I mean, maybe Preston Tucker knows some. I don't know. What do they speak over there? Korea.
Korean.
Korean.
Oh
I
my God! Get out of high school. I don't.
But no, at the same time, I feel like a lot of these guys over there, they know somewhat of English. They've probably learned it in.
Yeah, they probably.
they've
Knowing
learned it in school.
English is like the easiest language to know. It's not. If
English is like the second hardest language to learn if like you don't live in America.
Nah, it's definitely one of the easiest languages to learn.
No, because all the prefixes and suffixes on word, it's one of the hardest languages to ever learn.
Nah, I think English is a really easy
Especially-
language to learn.
I mean, that's because you've like grown up with learning it. And, like, it's very hard to learn.
Bro, even if they don't have the suffixes and prefixes right, you can still understand what they're saying. Like, I
Well,
want
yeah, well,
rice.
yeah.
I mean, like, or I want rice, or I
Yeah,
want tacos.
can't
Okay, I didn't mean it like that, but like,
That was.
Oh,
it's a
okay,
lot
so-
easier to
You meant
We
it
gotta
like
lap it right
that.
now. We gotta lap it right now. We gotta
No,
lap it
stop.
right now. We
so
can't
I
keep
think-
going.
Stop.
I think we're gonna end off the episode there. We kind of went off on a rant on the MLB there at the end, talking about the season and everything. But do you guys got anything else to add before we end it off here?
Wait. Why was the Akia and Lotte game on Thursday postponed?
Probably
Rain,
rain
maybe?
or something.
Oh, a lot of such stupid questions. Yeah, I mean, Preston Tucker. Wait, Aaron Altair is 5th in RBIs now.
Yeah, he's had a really big upcoming since like we started talking about KBO originally. Oh yeah, I think is that all you got, Joe?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay.
Prayers for Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, prayers for Big
Yeah,
Ben. I mean,
I really hope you find yourself
not
in this
Hopefully he can
not
time.
no,
contain
not really
himself.
prayers. He obviously found himself. He was able to bring himself to talk about it, so he
He
found
found his baloney.
he's good. Thank you, Ben, for that.
That beard blocks it.
Okay.
Yeah, shave it.
So I think we're
My
gonna end off the
God.
episode there. If you like the video, if you like our content, subscribe.
I thought you could like the video if you want to.
Yeah, like the video if you want to. I mean, if you like, if you
I
want
mean,
to, go ahead and drop a like.
That's true. If you
Um,
don't, you don't
su-
have to.
subscribe if you guys haven't yet, and you can check us. You can check Nick and Joe's Film Room coming out tomorrow on Saturday,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, it should be.
Tomorrow on Saturday, okay.
There's no technical difficulties.
Okay, and then we got another Buds podcast on Monday. See you guys next time.